All right.
All right.
So Reformation.
Yep.
We've seen how it took hold in Europe.
Yeah.
But we've got to work out how it comes to England.
It's all about the Thomas, mate. It's all about the Thomas. See Thomas the Tank? That's why I'm playing with Thomas the Tank.
It's not about Thomas.
It's about Thomas. Thomas.
Not Thomas. Henry.
Look, what's it called? Thomas the Tank, not Henry the Tank.
No. Reformation in England comes about because of Henry VIII.
Yeah, there's a Henry in Thomas the Tank, but it's all about Thomas.
No, Reformation in England.
Thomas.
Henry.
It's like Thomas the Tank.
Right, what Thomas?
Well, first of all, there's a Thomas Bilney born at around the same time as Henry VIII, yeah.
Right, 1495.
Well, that's when Thomas Bilney was
Yeah.
born, yeah. And he was in Norwich,
Right.
yeah. He went to Cambridge, became a priest, Catholic priest.
Yeah.
Didn't get on with it really because he couldn't find God. Then he read Erasmus's Greek New Testament.
Okay.
And where he read in 1 Timothy, it said that Jesus Christ came to save sinners, it blew him away. He realised he was a sinner and Jesus saved him.
Yeah.
Thomas Bilney, little Thomas Bilney, mate.
Yeah, all right, fine. So there was Thomas. There was a Thomas,
Yeah,
right?
Thomas, yeah.
And that was a little fire that God started in Norwich.
Yeah.
Okay. But Henry is really what it was about. Henry VIII, right? Henry VIII became king of England in 1509.
Yeah.
And Henry was a full-on Catholic. He
Yeah.
loved the Catholics. He loved the Pope. He hated Luther.
Yeah.
So he was writing...
And one of his big advisors was called Thomas. Thomas More.
Thomas... I know there was a Thomas.
Yeah,
Hang on.
hold it. There was another Thomas around as well. Cardinal Thomas Wolsey.
Yeah, all right. So there were some Thomases.
Yeah.
But Henry VIII...
That's 3 Thomases.
Henry VIII was really kind of like very keen on the Catholic stuff.
Yeah. Thomas More.
And he had a wife called Catherine of Aragon. She was Catholic.
Yeah.
But what he really needed was a son.
Yeah.
Because without a son, his family was going to die out.
Yeah.
So he needs a son, but Catherine of Aragon only produced him a daughter, Mary.
Yeah.
So he decides he needs to divorce Catherine of Aragon.
Thomas.
No. He needs to divorce Catherine in order to marry someone else and have a son.
Thomas More.
Well, what's Thomas More got to do with it?
Thomas More said you can't because he was a Catholic and you shouldn't divorce.
So Thomas More says he can't.
Yeah, and Thomas More wrote to the Pope, Pope wrote to him, blah, blah, blah.
And they said that he couldn't?
No, couldn't, no.
Well,
Even though at one time Henry was called Defender of the Faith by the Pope because he wrote a book against Luther. Now he was against the Pope.
So now Henry is an enemy of the Pope. So Henry divorces his wife and breaks with the Pope, with Rome. Thomas More is executed.
Yep.
So Henry VIII marries Anne Boleyn. No, not Thomas, Anne. Anne Boleyn. She's reading Luther.
Thomas.
She likes Luther.
Thomas.
And Anne Boleyn and Henry VIII have a daughter.
Yeah, but what you've got to realise
Elizabeth.
was there's another Thomas, and his name was Thomas Cromwell. Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Cromwell. Okay.
Yeah, but Thomas Cromwell sort of replaced all the other Thomases. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he helped Henry sort out all the politics.
So Thomas Cromwell,
Good bloke.
not a Catholic.
No, really, he was a sort of hidden evangelical Bible believer. In fact, he used lots of Henry's money to support the Christians in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Henry VIII...
He changed laws.
He changed laws.
Thomas.
Yeah. Shut down the monasteries.
He helped Henry shut down the monasteries. Got a lot of money for Henry.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
All right,
Thomas,
so-
mate. Thomas.
All right, so Thomas...
How many Thomases have we had now?
All right. Henry VIII, though, married to Anne Boleyn, she doesn't produce a son. She produces a daughter, Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
So Anne Boleyn is beheaded.
Yeah.
And the next day,
Yeah.
Henry VIII marries Jane Seymour.
Yeah.
And she does have a son.
Yeah.
And his name is
Thomas.
Edward.
Yeah.
Edward the Sixth.
Yeah. But what you got to realise was, not only is there Thomas Cromwell working in the background, changing laws, getting rid of all of the monasteries, giving Henry a load of money.
There's no more Thomases.
There he says Thomas Cranmer.
Thomas Cranmer.
Thomas Cranmer becomes, like the Archbishop of Canterbury in the Church of England. And Thomas Cranmer does all kinds of amazing things. He changes the service from Catholicism. He makes it much more sort of Bible-based. He writes the Book of Common Prayer and all that sort of stuff goes on. Thomas.
So bit by bit, things are changing in England.
Bit by bit, in big ways, politically, thanks to Thomas.
So Henry VIII, Jane Seymour, his wife, she dies.
Yep.
He has another wife,
Yep.
divorces her. Another wife kills her.
Yep.
Then his last wife, sixth wife, is Catherine Parr.
Yeah. Third Catherine.
Now she is important because she made sure that little Elizabeth
Yeah.
and little Edward
Yeah.
were being taught the Bible.
Yeah.
And because they were taught the Bible,
Probably by Thomas.
probably. And that way, God used these random things to set a wildfire.
No, you see, the thing is about wildfires, when you try to stamp something out, other sparks go there.
Right.
And that's what happened. So people are trying to stamp things out, and there's Thomas Bilney, and there's Thomas here, and Thomas Cromwell, and Thomas Cranmer. It's all about the wildfire Thomases.
And that is how the Reformation got started in England.
Brilliant.